Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines today. Songbird, FTX $2 billion fund. USD Tether freezes $150 million worth of USDT. We'll get into it. State Bank of Pakistan wants to ban crypto. I think this is a good experiment for the rest of the world to watch. I don't think this is going to age well, ladies and gentlemen. Ripple wins the DPP. Quick recap on that. And how about William Hinman may become the sacrificial lamb here? Coinbase moving away from SEC to CFTC. Tom Emmer on Gary Gensler's action says he's too smart to be that stupid. More cyber attacks. The Federal Reserve is deferring to Congress on the digital dollar. U.S. Treasury says if Congress doesn't do it, then we will. I'm going to prove it to you. 55% of the top banks have crypto. The top 100 banks. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at @BackupBradleyAbove, and everything that we're talking about here today. $2.047 trillion market cap for crypto. We're off a little more than 0.5% here. Bitcoin right now 43,100 plus. Ethereum 3,200 plus. We see Solana coming in $147 and change. Cardano is $1.26, and XRP is 77 cents right now. Look, the market's down. We know this, right? We're not happy about it, but I'm trying to accumulate as much as possible. I'm running out of dry powder, but I'm trying to keep it going because I know that's my discipline, not financial advice, just sharing my digital perspectives and how I invest. One thing I want to share very quickly is that this is planting season, ladies and gentlemen. That's how I refer to it. Yeah, I come up in the country. And in the country, we call investing times of down bear market. That's your planting season. That's when you plant the seeds. And when things are going off in a bull market, that's when you have harvest time. That's how I like to look at it. Look right here, we see 0.7560 on the bottom and 0.7920 on the top. It is officially planting season at my house. Right here, the numbers are brought to you by Pure VPN, ladies and gentlemen. This is really one of the best layers of protection you can have online. Leave no digital trace of your identity online here, and you can do it for 88% off, ladies and gentlemen. $1.33 right here, 5-year plan. You can't beat it. Can't beat it. Shout out to Phil and Shannon. That's my beach fam right there. From me and the wife, we're sending our love to you, my friend. Right here, you can go to here and click on any of the links in the description and comment box, like Pure VPN right here, as I circle with the cursor, and get that great special. They're in every description and comment section. Look right here. Let's start with XRP Crypto Wolf right here. This is Nexo, distributed Songbird, and XFi to XRP holders. Well, thank you, Nexo. And what about Coinbase and everybody else out there and all the other exchanges? Rob Licker brought this up to me the other day, and I mentioned it on the show, but I'm going to mention it again for him, myself, and everybody else who's waiting on their Songbird. And what are they doing with it? Because as I understand it, they actually already have it. So why are they not giving it to all of us? I have no idea. But shout out to Nexo for distributing theirs. Crypto exchange FTX official has established a $2 billion fund to invest in games, insurance, and security. Now, I don't want to tell you how to put your money into where you put your money in, but I can tell you this. If they've got a $2 billion fund for investing in games, insurance, and security, might you guess what I might be interested in putting my money in? Yeah, that's right. Games, insurance, and security. Isn't that ironic? Yeah, this is what I've been doing since the day I got into investing, right? I stack my pennies next to their dollars. This is the kind of fundamental news I want to see. And obviously, I will do more digging over time, and I'll share what I learned to try to figure out what exactly game-wise FTX and insurance and securities that FTX gets behind. Taking a look right here, we see Tether recently froze another $150 million of USD Tether. This is not the first time that the company has frozen USDT, actions that has once again stoked concerns of centralization in the crypto community. look, it really goes deeper than this too, right? I mean, it's not just a centralization issue, which is an issue, but it also goes beyond that in my eyes too. I do believe that these private stablecoins should be held to a heightened supervision and standard than heightened prudential than everyone else. I really do. Now, does that mean they should have a bank charter? I don't know. I think you could get it done either way, but it looks like they're going to go as far as forcing private stablecoin companies to hold a bank charter. We'll see how this plays out. But, this is more questions for Tether that they didn't need. State Bank of Pakistan says they're coming to a decision to ban the use of all cryptos within the country. The central bank has also asked that Shanghai court to ban unauthorized operations of crypto exchanges, imposing penalties on them. I think this is a good experiment for the rest of the world to watch what not to do. Okay? I do not believe that this is going to age well at all. We will keep a very close eye on that, just as we've done this. Judge says, and this is a recap, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time. We broke it down pretty good on the morning video. You should go watch that video, please. Judge says Ripple can access emails about SEC Ethereum speech. Ripple won a ruling that will force the SEC to disclose emails concerning a speech in which a former official concluded ETH is not a security. That was ruled by the judge that it is personal opinion and not the opinion of the agency SEC, right? It is not official guidance. So, therefore, it does not fall under the deliberative privilege process, and it does not have the protection of the SEC agency. There's a couple things I take away from here. One, they're going to turn over those pages, and I bet you everything except the page number is probably redacted. So then there's going to be a fight and motions filed for how much we get to see of that page or how much Ripple gets to see, right? Because we might not get to see as much as they get to see. So there's that side of it, right? Then the other side of it is the admission that it is a personal opinion. So officially, the SEC has never given any guidance at all as an agency to any crypto asset on the market, period. So there really leans into support for the fair notice defense. Now, I'm not a lawyer, 12 years short of a law degree. Can't wait to hear what John Deaton and Jeremy Hogan and others have to say about this. But I'm also surmising from this that it's very clear to me at this point, and I have said this leading up to this moment, if I was William Hinman, I would get a legal team together that just looks like a dream team. Because it is very clear to me that the SEC is distancing themselves from the lightning strike. Because it is a known fact that William Hinman did receive $15 million through Simpson Thacker while he was at the SEC, which benefited greatly Ethereum's network and his personal gain. I tell you, if I was William Hinman, I would not be feeling good on this day knowing that the SEC said, you do not get DPP from us. The court has said you are definitely not getting DPP from the SEC. William Hinman is now on his own. The next thing that comes across my mind, and I want to hear from John Deaton, is what does this mean to John Deaton and all of us as XRP holders in being represented by him in this class action lawsuit? I would think greatly he should be able to press on forth towards William Hinman as well for this speech that really, really set the tone for an entire crypto space, and all of us being held to a much different standard than Ethereum certainly has been. Here's another thought. Johnny Sugarcoat says if Judge Netburn ruled it wasn't Hinman's opinion, the emails would have been privileged under the DPP. So that means next up, Hinman's calendar. Come on in. Never thought of it that way either, Michael, but you know what? That's why we got all of us out here chipping in, and it's really nice to have everybody's insight. FairX acquisition is Coinbase moving away from the SEC and towards the CFTC. We reported this yesterday. Coinbase continues with this strategy. It could signal a shift in which the regulatory body might have the final say over the company's activity. And basically what they're talking about is bringing in derivatives with the acquisition of FairX and bringing more of the CFTC over the the regulatory control, then the SEC looks to be the pivot here. So we will keep an eye on that as well. This is Tom Emmer, and he's telling you how frustrated he is with Gary Gensler. I tell you, boy, I am a fan of Tom Emmer. I wish I was in your state, Tom, just so I could vote for you, my friend. Let's hear this little exchange. Nobody says it better.
Well, I'm very frustrated with Chair Gensler. He is as my mother used to say, JD, he's too smart to be so stupid. All right. This is driving opportunity off our shores. And just look at the intellectual inconsistencies. You're allowing Bitcoin futures to trade, right, on the Chicago exchange. Where does the pricing come from? Well, it comes from the Bitcoin spot market. So why would you allow the one and not the other? It makes no sense intellectually. It's inconsistent. More importantly, his mission, the mission of the SEC, is to protect and promote investment opportunities for Americans. And that's not just Americans who have huge financial means to participate in our great capital markets. It's about individual investors off Main Street all across this country. And I would argue, and I believe I'm dead on right, that the actions of Chair Gensler have been anything but directed towards accomplishing that mission. In fact, he is restricting the options for American investors in driving American innovation and opportunity out of this country. I think it's Canada, believe it or not, just north of us, Canada, that has approved 3 Bitcoin ETFs, if I'm not mistaken. So he's putting America behind the 8 ball. He's putting us at the back of the line when he should be putting us at the front. This whole government should be working to get out of the way and allow this innovation to occur, because it can mean so much to so many Americans and others.
Well said by Tom Emmer, as always. And listen, there's a few mounting narratives and points here. One, we know that there is huge pressure for clarity from regulators, and obviously specifically Gary Gensler's SEC, right? And even Jay Clayton's SEC before that. But then we have the pressure, and that's on the domestic front. Then we have the pressure from the other side of the world with China recording $1.5 billion worth of digital yuan transactions in 2021 after several rounds of coupon-driven promotions, according to the state media, citing official data, and also becoming the most downloaded app for the digital yuan on Apple and Android downloads. So Google downloads in that country, right? So there is a lot of foreign pressure. There's a lot of regulatory domestic pressure. And then we have even more pressure coming from this. Cyber attacks around the world. I told you just a couple weeks ago, my wife's work and their international payment provider system was breached with ransomware, and it had to be paid in order for them to get that payment system back up. I told you just last week that Kazakhstan had cyber attack and it shut down a ton of stuff. Then we told you about Canada a week before that, having 4,000 government sites shut down in lieu of an attack that was being told was going to happen. Now we see Ukraine has a cyber attack on government websites as well. You know, what else did we see? Well, the U.S. oil pipeline had a cyber attack, did it not? The largest U.S. meat producer had a cyber attack, did it not? One of the largest IT companies supporting over 11,000 large corporations around the world, cyber attack. Then there's the GameStop issue, where social media was used to manipulate the markets, the trading markets, the way the elites do. And that was a problem for all of government and of powerful, for sure. So all of this is pointing to the market infrastructure being vulnerable. And something has to be done. Tell me that this narrative isn't taking us to that place. Then there's the conversation, boots on the ground. How do you deal with this? How do you deal with all this crypto and private stable coins and market infrastructure vulnerability? Well, U.S. Federal Reserve is deferring to Congress and decided to introduce a central bank digital currency bill or not. Leo Brainerd told the Senate Banking Committee She goes on to say, we're really looking to Congress in the first instance, the administration, to give us guidance in this area. Brainerd responded, we want to make sure that we do the requisite research on policy and technology so we're in a position to move forward if Congress decided its importance to be able to compete with China in this regard. Various industry watchers expect China's upcoming digital yuan launch to challenge the U.S. dollar's position as the global hegemonic currency. On Wednesday, Republican Congressman Tom Emmer introduced a bill, as we know, we reported here, to stop the Fed from being able to issue the CBDC directly to Americans, citing China's digital authoritarianism, which is absolutely a great concern, and I hope he gets that bill passed. Now, moving on, I have told you guys, and here it is, written right here, if Congress doesn't act, the working group, which is headed by the Treasury Department's FSOC. Now, who in the world have you been hearing talk about FSOC for over 2 years? It's right here. To take steps to designate some stablecoin activities as systemic risk, which could subject them to further federal scrutiny, which means they will have to become systemically important financial market utilities or systemically important financial market infrastructures, SIFMUs or SIFMEs as they are referred to, and held to a heightened prudential and supervision because of a designation by the regulatory agency FSOC connected to the Treasury Department. So when I see this, what I see out of this is, to me, is that if Congress does not get legislation passed, what I see is a fail-safe measure put in that FSOC will come in and do what is needed on the stablecoin front to begin to shore up how you get in and out of this digital world. That's what I'm seeing, which tells me, ultimately, I don't know when, but it's imminent. They've left the door open if Congress doesn't get the job done, and we know many times Congress does not get the job done. So, looking right here we look at this. This is a reminder, Palau, Republic of Palau, which will issue a stablecoin to support plans for a digital overhaul of its economy, according to its presidents. Not a lot to add from the article itself, so I'm not going to read it, but I will tell you that it is a reminder that the Republic of Palau is using the Ripple private ledger to launch their CBDCs on. And you have to wonder one day, I was talking to my brother Phil from down the beach, fam, and he made a good point. He said, what if this private ledger that all these banks are going to use, what if that correlates with some kind of a decision, whether it be from the court case or whether it come from regulation and legislation or a combination of all of the above, that really eliminates the ability to really continue to hold it at XRP at some point and work its way out of the secondary market, making its way to its ultimate use on that private ledger? That's a good question. It's a good question. This is the article, but I don't need to read it to you here. But this is a reminder, while this market is down, while all of this not knowing, this lack of clarity is taking place, and pressure from around the world and cyber attacks continue in waves across the globe, 55% of the world's top 100 banks reportedly have crypto and blockchain exposure. And here's a list of just some of them. Standard Chartered, BNY Mellon, Citibank US. By the way, they're all Ripple partners. BNB Paribas. You can't make it up. The majority of what you're looking at here are, in fact, partnered with Ripple. You can even see here, Ripple. You can even see over here. It's just, it's obviously, the list is pretty endless here, right? And wherever you see R3, there's an indirect connection there because of the Corda platform and then access to the Corda settler, which ultimately gives you use to a settlement of digital asset, one of which can be XRP, the digital currency. That's going to do it for me, folks. Happy Friday. I hope you all have a great weekend. Remember, head on a swivel. You just never know, because this is crypto. Check out all the links in the description box and the comment section. I want to thank each and every one of you for being a part of this show and tuning in, following on Twitter, following on Facebook, being a part of this journey, right? It's not about whether I get rich or whether you get rich. The truth is we're all here because I want to see all of us get rich. I want to see all of us get extremely wealthy for our own self and our family and what we can do and what we can provide, things that we may have access to do, that we have dreams of doing by helping others even, right? And we could start by helping others by telling them about what this market is and about where we are in this market. We are so very close to the full legitimization of the new digital asset class, which is going to come in the way of clear regulation and legislation. And over the next couple of years, I think that's exactly what we're going to have. And now is a great time for anybody to start taking a look at this market to figure out what you may believe in and where you may just put your money. Not financial advice. I'll catch all of you on the next one.